European Tzu Chi volunteers take on first care recipient case, which is a single mother in Serbian refugee camp. Kids from around the world converge on New York City to talk about potential solutions to climate change. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Beginning in May, European Tzu Chi volunteers took on their first care recipient case as a refugee woman who has been struggling to raise her 3 kids since her husband passed away from liver cancer.
This near 20 square meters house is home to widow Slavica and her 3 children. There is no partition in the home and the roof is damaged. Whenever it rains, it leaks.
You can see here, when it is raining, they had the water here in the room. It is boiling through here and through here. And then mother, who is sleeping in this bed.
Deeply caring for this family, Yelena reported the case to Tzu Chi, and in May, Slavica became the first Tzu Chi care recipient in Serbia.
We hope in the future, besides caring for the refugees, we can begin to do more. As we know, Serbia has many disadvantaged people. This is a good starting point.
In September, Tzu Chi volunteers came to visit the refugees, as well as to check on Slavica and her family.
They will have a new life in this new house. So I know that so many volunteers helped. I would like, and me and Boris, we would like to help, to thank them for their help.
Thank you, people, for all of this. What you're doing for my family, for my kids, for me. Thanks so much.
Volunteers give the family auspicious red paper lanterns and Jing Si aphorism calligraphy arts as housewarming gifts, wishing them a good beginning to this new life.
The Laos flood assessment team, formed by Tzu Chi volunteers from 5 countries, carried out their final day of inspection at a disaster area in Champasak Province. 45,000 families in this province were affected by the floods, and many schools were also heavily damaged.
The floods caused much damage to the village. People's homes are also severely ruined.
当时它的这个米仓是
被冲到这样，
这像酒
是这那个橘色那边是不是？橘色那
对
边。
对对对，它就在那里，那水就把它冲到这里。
On the last day of the assessment, the Tzu Chi team came to Champasak Province, which is at the southwest region of Laos. The floods affected 45,000 families in the province. The volunteers split into 2 teams to visit Salaban and Tongse, the 2 worst-hit villages in the provinces. Salaban village is near a river, so the foundations of many houses have been emptied out by the floods. The roads have also been damaged by the floods. The primary school in the village is badly damaged. The provincial education minister also asked Tzu Chi to rebuild their schools.
I'm glad that Tzu Chi is here to evaluate. We saw the school in this village is damaged, so I hope Tzu Chi can rebuild it and the kids can go to school.
She said there was a piece of safe land. If Tzu Chi could rebuild the school, we could build it on safe land.
Many schools need to be rebuilt urgently. Many affected people are also shocked by the floods.
When the floods cashed in, we were at home, but we didn't expect the floods would rise so quickly. Very quickly, the whole house was underwater. We immediately dashed to the roof. We weren't scared at that time, but we are scared now. We don't dare to live here anymore, so we have sent the kids to the safe place.
水淹到哪里？
水淹到地。
哦，所以车子拿到楼上去了。
怎么拿那么重？一台一台搬了。
While the volunteers are assessing the damage, they meet the wife of Laos Prime Minister, who is very thankful to Tzu Chi's international assistance.
Tzu Chi Foundation has caring to the people of Laos, from the last month's free clinics to this month's damage assessment. I'm deeply touched and I must thank you.
The 5-day assessment trip has come to an end. Tzu Chi volunteers will compile what they have seen and information from the Laos government to produce a relief plan. Then they come to Laos again as quickly as possible to carry out the relief work.
Concert to mark the 20th anniversary of the 9/21 earthquake was held at Taichung Jing Si Hall. Students from 2 Project Hope schools performed, showing their strength in getting back on their feet after the earthquake. The concert attendees recalled the 9/21 earthquake, taking these lessons to heart. Let's take a look.
Singing of love that embraces everyone, one wants to thank people who reached out to the needy when the earthquake struck. Liu Fengchang, who has lost 5 family members in the earthquake, has come to attend the gratitude concert. He did not expect to meet a surprising guest.
我们呢来了一位神秘嘉宾，要来看看你。好，我们现在呢邀请当时看护他的我们的慧英师姐，还记得吗？
Miss Xu, who looked after Liu for a short period of time, feels deeply touched. Recalling the 91 earthquake, there are a lot of heartwarming stories of mutual help.
Everyone, where is the love? It is within everyone. It is in everyone's heart, right? Therefore, the Master has said that we should learn together and take actions with one united heart.
Love transcends boundaries. A singer from Japan, Saga Tatsuhiko, has come to perform at the 921 concert to thank people of Taiwan for reaching out to Japan when 3/11 earthquake struck. Students from an affected school perform a sign language song to express their feelings when facing the earthquake.
The house collapsed in the 9/21 earthquake. People were looking for their parents. Some people died, so they could not find them.
One of our sisters is very mindful. She bought newspapers from 20 years ago, so the students can further understand the incident.
Tzu Chi's Project Hope has given the school a makeover.
Children in the course pass on their tradition and sing stories about Zhushan Elementary School. There are tears and laughter in these stories.
I was presenting the thank you card from my class to Dharma Master Zheng Yan. I was very nervous. The master placed her hand on my chest and said, "Do not be nervous." I felt calm and firm.
Back then, she was only in 2nd grade and she is about to get married now. At the concert to mark the 20th anniversary of the 921 earthquake, the volunteers deliver their gifts and best wishes. The concert held at the Taichung Jing Si Hall was prepared by Tzu Chi volunteers, both on and off stage. Lin Liping, who is in charge of audio control, has more than 20 years of work experience in filming. At the Tzu Chi event, she is able to practice her expertise.
The number of the people who dine here, including the outstage volunteers and the behind-the-scene workers, might reach 100 or 200 people.
Tzu Chi volunteers in central Taiwan worked with one heart and mind to present the concert to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the 921 earthquake. They hope people will remember the lessons brought about by the earthquake.
It's been 20 years since the 9/21 quake. Many who survived might not want to talk about the pain they suffered. However, on the other end of the spectrum, for those who were able to live at the DaAi village, they have many fond memories as they later moved into stable and secure homes. Many of them have kept the furniture and other household items after they eventually moved out as a reminder of their time there.
Hi, baby.
弟弟在干什么？伟伟，你要做什么？去溜滑梯玩。
This near 20-year-old video footage shows how heartwarming the days at the DaAi village were.
你要照顾嘟嘟哦。好，进来了没有课本？
希望现在你当老师啊，你在教他们2个上课啊。我们一家那时候3口。
There were only 3 of us then. My second child hadn't been born yet. My wife was very pregnant then. I found a car and loaded everything we owned into it and moved into the DaAi village.
慈济大爱村里面。
His youngest was born in the village, and Xi Jingfu and his family spent some memorable times there.
到底在哭什么？安诺，爸爸欺负你啊，哭那么伤心。
很感动就对了。
I'm extremely moved. Tzu Chi not only found a place to shelter us from the elements, but the surrounding environment was very scenic and beautiful. The home was built for people to live in comfortably.
盖的也很符合人性。
Though the DaAi village have long been disassembled, those who live there have more than just fond memories to remember the place.
This TV was brought over from the DaAi village. It's 20 years old.
Retired from Puli Industrial Vocational Senior High, Gao Zongyang lived at the Puli DaAi First Village, and he has kept the TV which came with the home.
电视的画质The TV picture quality is still pretty good.
It seems like the washing machine, refrigerator, and even the light fixture he kept and reinstalled in his new home. The sink fixture, which is also from the village, further serves as a daily reminder.
I see it each day, and it reminds me of our days at the DaAi village. Tzu Chi, Master Cheng Yan, and the volunteers, for they have carried us and helped us.
Former Taichung DaAi village resident Gao Jingjui has kept his address place card, valuing it as a family heirloom.
I will always remember this home. If it weren't for Tzu Chi's help then, I don't know where my family of 4 would have ended up.
A former resident of Dongshi's DaAi village, Zhang Huizhen, also kept the water heater, the kitchen hood fan, sink, and even little items such as a water bucket and blankets.
我能留到现在啊，这买不到啊，所以这个很暖了，我买的没有那么暖呢。
DaAi village often held events to bring everyone together, such as music concerts or even blessing ceremonies. Back then, Caotun's DaAi village even had a library.
I was a librarian there. The title was given to me by the villagers who live there, but it's a title that doesn't pay. Still, I had a great time doing the job.
来，你来看这，好啊！你看这好像里面放什么东西呢？金银财宝、珠宝都靠他们家。
Shi Meiying, who is now a leader volunteer of the Taiwan Historical Museum, wasn't a resident of the DaAi village. She was merely just an enthusiastic volunteer.
I did buy some snacks and fruit and asked them to come to the library, where I did sit around and chat. I would help with their emotional support.
Many residents of the DaAi village later became Tzu Chi volunteers.
We received a lot of help from Tzu Chi sisters, so I had a thought, and I went door to door passing out a flyer, asking those who were willing to be a volunteer to come and register with me.
Wu Jianlong and his wife were both influenced to join Tzu Chi's ranks.
As a victim of the quake, how are we so lucky to receive such a fortunate thing? Why have Tzu Chi volunteers prepared everything for us? It was entirely moving. It was when I thought when I joined Tzu Chi, I will do it well.
Losing their home, their loved ones, the survivors find peace and stability at the DaAi village.
要给他们都是有一个家，完整的家。所以呢，这个虽然是屋窄啦，不过呢，心宽哈，那屋就宽。
Living at the DaAi village was merely a temporary situation, but the residents have formed so many fond memories of their time there.
Before the United Nations Climate Action Summit takes place on September 23rd, a group of young students have gathered in New York City. They called on world leaders to look into the serious harm brought about by climate change and provide climate solutions.
We are currently at the Foley Square near New York City's civic buildings. Today, more than 1 million young students will walk out of the classroom across the country to voice out for the world. They chose to hold the event before the United Nations Climate Action Summit takes place to remind the world leaders to look into the serious effects of climate change and take concrete actions.
Start talking facts! Stop talking money! I'm here today because climate change is a real issue that cannot be denied any longer, and it's something that needs to be changed, and if the politicians and government are not going to do anything about it, then we kids certainly are.
I think it's really important that we are here today because the people before us are just messing up our future. If we keep littering the whole planet, it's going to be filled with trash. And how you can help is if you pick up trash whenever you see some on the ground.
The icebergs are melting, and soon the entire Earth is going to be sunken underwater.
Completely stop using gas cars and start using only electric cars.
We're older, but what's so important is that the young people are here. The young people are here in masses, and it's because their future is the one that's at risk here.
I think it's very important because if we litter, then our planet is going to be destroyed, and floods could happen, and thunderstorms and tornadoes could happen.
Holding signs, the students shout, "We do not have a second Earth." Through this outdoor activity, the students have raised the people's awareness of climate change and share their climate solutions.
The UN Youth Climate Summit is being held in New York City, welcoming youth leaders from across the world to speak at an international platform. Tzu Chi Foundation was among the organizations invited to speak on some of the panels. Let's take a look.
This is a really special occasion for us at Tzu Chi and for the international UN community because it's an opportunity for us to gather together all different actors within the UN community, member states, and civil society to come together to talk about what the role of young people are in creating climate action to really create a more sustainable future for all.
I'm here to gather the information and learn so that tomorrow I can share what I've learned here to other people.
We like to see things in a very tangible way. So one thing Tzu Chi works on is we set up recycling centers around the world. Transformative rather than destructive is something that Tzu Chi works on through our technologies where we transform plastics into textiles, materials, and new products.
So I want them to remember that you shouldn't buy too many stuff online and then send it back. Just limit yourself to whatever you really need. Go to a local store.
For every person to take action, think about the types of transport that you're using, reuse, reduce, and recycle, and consume less and create more.
What we're seeing is not only do we all have a chance to participate in protecting the planet and human health every time we eat, but also to understand the way food fits into the larger narrative of climate change as well, whether it's in transport or it's in governance of oceans, use of land.
Among the discussion panel is an actor, Luca Mullen, known for his role on the Disney Channel programming and widely influential with the youth of today. Luca Mullen is also quite passionate about environmentalism.
It's important that we stop the destructive habits in our lifestyles. I think that's when we can connect with the general public to stop these bad habits.
Almost half of the world population is under the age of 35. That's a lot of manpower, and that's a lot of people who need to be represented and need to have their priorities heard.
We need more people of diverse voices and cultures to come to the table. And so we're really grateful that all these youth from all around the world are here today.
Not only focused on the policy development, the summit and the side panel discussions also focuses on how to change individual habits and spending to curb and lessen the impact on global warming.
The The 75th Global Jing Si Living Camp was attended by 576 participants from 8 countries. On the first day, they went to the Tzu Chi Nehu grounds to understand the technologies behind environmental protection. On the following day, attendees went to Hualien to understand the core value of Tzu Chi.
The attendees of the Global Jing Si Living Camp wear raincoats or hold umbrellas in the rain and listen to the Dharma master telling them the story about Tzu Chi.
When you enter the realm of Buddha's teaching, your life can become very open. When you join the path of great love, and you are giving yourself to the public, you will gain happiness in return.
576 participants from 8 countries completed their 2-day camp on this day. With the closing ceremony at the Jing Si abode, one of the attendees is a businessman from Malaysia. His child attends a Tzu Chi kindergarten, but the businessman did not know Tzu Chi culture well until he attended this camp.
I've been a vegetarian for 26 years, but yesterday a brother told me that I've been eating vegetarian meals for 26 years, but I also smoked, so I wasn't a true vegetarian. Today I quit smoking, so from today on I'm a true vegetarian.
These business people are high achievers in their own fields, but they found a different meaning for their lives through this camp in the area of recycling, culture, and charity.
In Yunlin and Miaoli, Tzu Chi volunteers recently held stem cell registry drives. Before the event, Tzu Chi volunteers took to the streets to invite more people to participate and potentially save lives.
Before the bone marrow registry drive, Miaoli Tzu Chi volunteers took to the street to promote the event. On the day of the event, a young man, Taichung Jing Si Hall, was the first one to sign up.
I think this is a good deed. If I can match with a patient, I can help other people.
This slender lady, Miss Zhen, has to have her blood drawn for the second time because the amount of blood collected was too little. She remained brave. Miss Wen, who works as the long-term care center in Tzu Chi Miaoli grounds, also came to sign up, holding her newborn baby.
Helping other people is like helping ourselves. People on earth are one big family.
In Yunlin, marrow transplants donors come to the Marrow registry drive to share their experiences.
I feel very proud to be able to help other people without harming my health. I hope one day you will be able to wear this vest too. Would that be good?
Dalian Tzu Chi hospital nurse Xu Yanping, who is responsible for drawing blood, has brought her 4 nephews to sign up as potential marrow donors.
My aunt told us about the Marrow registry drive. I donate 10 cc of my blood. I hope in the future I can help people in need.
By signing up as a potential donor, we give the patients a second chance at life, and it does not affect our own health.
While the potential donors include couples, colleagues, or parents and their children, they will hope to give leukemia patients a second chance at life.
Tzu Chi USA has been around for 30 years, and in Southern California, a special concert was held featuring Taiwanese musicians. We leave you with this. Goodbye.